Hello. My name is Eugene D.F. McFugger. I have written that sentence in so many margins of grant proposals, lecture notes, travel permits, that it has become a kind of talisman, a formality that calms the hands, an incantation for the rational mind. It is why I am writing it again now, by the light of a trembling lantern and something else. A glow that has no business existing beneath this amount of stone. I am a professor that is not a boast, it is an explanation. Professors are trained to doubt, to footnote, to hold the world at arm's length with the polite force of methodology. We are taught that wonder is a bias, that longing is noise, that the only honest sensation is uncertainty. And yet here I am. Boots soak through, coat crusted with salt and soot, counting my breaths like a student counts steps before an oral exam. I am here because the maps were wrong in the way that makes a man feel personally insulted. I am here because the accounts were too consistent to dismiss. Too many unrelated sources repeating the same phrase with the same reverent care. Car Baron. In my office, Car Baron was a paragraph, a contested proper noun, a cluster of chants recorded by bored colonial clerks who could not spell the same word twice. I taught it as myth, an ancestral forge, a holy site, a metaphor for transformation. All the safe phrases that allow a room full of young minds to be thrilled without anyone having to believe. I believed. Of course, quietly. The way professors believe in things they cannot defend at conferences. The trail began as most academic trails do, with an embarrassment. A student sharp, insolent, brilliant, raised a hand in my seminar and asked, Professor McFugger, if Car Baron is only symbolic, why do 3 separate funerary rites describe the sound of it? Not the look, the sound. I remember adjusting my glasses. I remember the familiar heat of being challenged. I remember saying something that pleased my own intellect. That sound is a common metaphor for memory. That echoes are a natural poetic device. Home and could not sleep because the student was right. They did not describe the idea of sound. They described mechanics, a pulse, a delay, a timbre like hot metal cooling, a bell swallowed by a cave, a throat singing through stone, an anvil in the ribs. Poets can be precise, yes, but this was the precision of witnesses.
So I did what professors do when they are frightened by their own curiosity. I went looking for sources, archives, ruined songs, half forgotten in remote inns, where the stew tastes of moss and rain. I followed fragments until fragments became a line, and the line
For 2 weeks I traveled through marshland that swallowed sound in the daylight, and returned it at night in strange, rearranged forms. My footsteps would come back to me a second later, but altered, lower, slower, like someone else walking beside me in my own boots. I wrote this down, of course I had to. It is a kind of reflex. If I can record a phenomenon, then it is not haunting me. It is merely happening. I told myself that the swamp was playing tricks, out of twists are complex, that my fatigue was affecting perception. Down on the third night, I heard the first hammer strike. It arrived as a sensation before it arrived as a sound. Pressure in my teeth, a faint ache in the jaw, as if the air itself had been struck with a mallet. It was far away, but it did not diminish with distance and the way distance behaves. It seemed to occupy the entire landscape at once, like thunder that chooses to be tidy. I stopped, I held my breath, I waited for the next.